We learn that she wants them to level up, so that they can defeat the Demon Lord, thinking they will like her if she helps them become stronger. So she decides to teach them how to level up, telling them to kill monsters in the dungeon during their free time. She advises them to wear the Amulet of Growth and head to the deepest part of the dungeon, where the most powerful monsters can be found. She tells them to hunt them down and use the monster calling flute when they're alone, saying it's the most efficient way to level up. But Edwin thinks she's trying to get them killed, and she realizes that her method is too dangerous, so she offers to join him in the dungeon, but he refuses, saying he doesn't need her help. Yumila realizes that the boys didn't like her advice, and she hears the people talking about her method, thinking she's crazy. But she wonders why Alicia doesn't trust her, thinking she could also be reincarnated into the game, because she seems to know what's going to happen in the future. So the next day, Yumila decides to investigate Alicia, and she follows her around, observing her every move. We learn that in the game, Alicia enrolled in the academy because she wants to help others, and she couldn't get along with her classmates because of her commoner background. But the boys helped her and became her friends. Yumila notes that her personality isn't so different because she's still kind and cheerful, but Yumila wonders why she appears to be afraid of her. As Alicia leaves, Yumila approaches the cat, trying to talk to it, but it's afraid of her, so it quickly runs away. She notes that animals are afraid of her, and she sees the boy named Patrick, who appears to be observing her, but he pretends that he didn't see anything. She knows that he's lying, so she explains that she let the cat escape, saying she could have taken it by force if she wanted to, but he doesn't respond, so she decides to walk away. Yumila continues to spy on Alicia, as she studies with Edwin, who tells her that Yumila isn't the Demon Lord, saying it's wrong to accuse her, but Alicia draws a pitch-black creature, saying that's what she sees when she looks at Yumila. Yumila thinks this is the reason why animals are afraid of her, thinking it's because light isn't compatible with darkness, and Edwin reveals that he doesn't trust her. But he knows that she will be joining in the fight against the Demon Lord, because the king has recognized her powers. He tells Alicia that she will also be in the party, because her light magic is considered as a valuable asset, and he apologizes for getting her involved. But she tells him that she wants to use her magic to save the world, saying she's looking forward to working with him, and Yumila notes that her personality hasn't changed, so she concludes that Alicia hasn't been reincarnated. Later that day, Yumila heads to the principal's office, where she meets a man named Ronald, who explains that he will be taking over because the former principal has resigned. But she notes that his smile looks fake, so she finds him suspicious. He reveals that he was sent by the king, and he knows about the royal family's secret, so she concludes that the king trusts him. He knows that Edwin is spilling the beans, explaining that the boys have been acting strange lately because she shattered their pride, so he can't blame them for acting hostile. He explains that the royal family will deny that the Demon Lord is going to return, but he knows that the rumor will continue to spread. He informs her about the field lessons in the academy, where the students hunt monsters to level up, saying he needs her to help the regional nobles. She wonders how the boys are going to train, so he explains that they will undergo special training, saying he plans to help them reach level 40 before they graduate. She tells him that she wants them to reach level 60, but he thinks it's impossible, because it will take years to achieve that level. We see Yumila supervising the field lessons, as she notes that it's too peaceful, thinking their methods are inefficient, and it will never prepare them for a real battle. Patrick agrees with her, saying they can kill more monsters if they work together, and she realizes that she has finally found a classmate she can talk to. He tells her that the vanguards can hold the monsters in place, while the rear guard attacks them from a distance, but she notes that the vanguards will gain less experience with this method. He explains that they need to reverse the role, so that everyone will gain experience, and she notes that this isn't as effective as her method, thinking it's still better to do it alone. He mentions that there are enough people to create the formation, and Yumila suddenly uses the monster calling flute. So Patrick orders everyone to take position, knowing they're in danger, because the monsters are about to attack. The monsters charge at them, but the vanguards hold them off, and the rear guard attacks them from a distance, allowing the students to kill them without casualties. But a monster lunges forward, and the formation is about to break, so Patrick kills it and orders the vanguards to regroup. They're able to defeat the monsters, but everyone is exhausted, and Patrick tells Yumila not to use the flute without warning. but she tells him not to worry because she will hold the monsters in place, and she uses the flute. So everyone panics, but Yumila tells them to take their time as she uses her dark bind spell, preventing the monsters from moving. She orders the students to kill them, saying her spell will hold them in place, but the students hesitate, thinking they're going to get attacked. Patrick kills a monster, telling them it's safe, and she realizes that they're afraid of her magic. She tells him that he has great leadership skills, and he reveals that he has combat experience because he's the son of a Margrave. But at that moment, a monster charges at her, so he tries to defend her, but he ends up getting injured, and she kills it in one hit. She uses dark magic to heal him, but he appears to be terrified. He notes that his wound is completely healed, and she wonders why he tried to protect her, because she's already at level 99. But he tells her to take care of herself, and she realizes that he was worried about her. He advises her not to use the flute without warning, but she tells him that she's going to use it, and she summons more monsters, causing everyone to panic because they're already exhausted. But she keeps using her dark bind spell to help them level up, forcing them to push themselves to their limits. The next day, Ronald gives Yumila a warning, telling her to stop using her flute. He's surprised to learn that she can use dark magic to heal injuries, and she mentions that she once lost her arm, so she had to use her magic to regrow it. But she notes that she almost died, knowing she can't survive if her head is sliced off. She inquires about the Central Nobles, and he tells her that the boys leveled up, but they killed all the monsters by themselves, so the other students couldn't make progress. He adds that Alicia wasn't able to gain experience, saying she needs to level up, because her light magic is a valuable asset to the kingdom, so he asks Yumila to help her out. She becomes excited, thinking Alicia will enjoy her trip to the dark dungeon, but he imagines that she's going to suffer, because Yumila's methods are questionable. So he changes his mind, telling her to test the durability of magic tools instead, and she accepts the task. He gives her a piece of metal, telling her that they're planning to use it to make armor, and it was able to pass Adolf's endurance test, but she easily bends it. Ronald asks her to describe its durability, but she explains that she didn't notice because she wasn't even trying, and he tries to bend it, but he realizes that he can't. Yumila walks around the campus as Patrick approaches her, asking her about the meeting with Ronald. So she mentions that he scolded her, and Patrick tells her that it was expected. His classmate calls him, telling him that everyone wants to see him because they want him to be their leader for the next field lesson, and Yumila notes how everyone trusts him. During their sword class, Patrick invites Yumila to train with him, but she wonders why he chose her as his partner, knowing he has friends who want to pair up with him. So he explains that he owes her for healing him, but she tells him not to think about it, knowing he would have survived on his own. So he thinks about looking for another partner, but she stops him, telling him to train with her. They have a sparring match, as she notes that his swordsmanship is beautiful, but as he tries to strike her, she casually swings her sword and easily blows him away. She approaches him, realizing he's injured, so she heals him as she apologizes for hurting him, but he blames himself for being weak, thinking he isn't worthy to be her partner. She tells him that his sword skills are amazing, saying she could learn from him, but he wonders why she's trying to learn how to fight with the sword, because she's already overpowered. So she reveals that she wants to fight the Demon Lord, and he believes that the rumors are true, thinking the Demon Lord will return in 2 years. But she denies this, saying Edwin is just making things up, as she notes that he has a bad reputation because of his behavior. So his credibility has been affected, and most people believe that his claim about the Demon Lord is a joke. But she knows that everyone finds her suspicious, because she's rumored to be the Demon Lord.